Cause I struck out doesn't mean I lost the game. You better not strike out now. Write down, don't forget my name. Wishing I could hear you now. Maybe I should close my mouth. The only thing I'm feeling is doubt. Pain is so loud. I deserve to be happy, even if it kills me. Missing my friends when all of us are laughing. Getting hard to slow down, wishing I was found. Getting hard to slow down when you're not around. To me, this is bigger than the universe. You know, it's much more than just a game. To me, this is bigger than the universe. You know, it's much more than just a game. Alright. Sorry for anyone who's hopped in. Okay. How was it going, everybody? Yeah, so this is what I have been playing around with in the creative world. Just designing more additions to the train tracks and adding more to um adding more to what am I trying to say? To the when we need to level out the train track. So this is kind of the idea I got. We're gonna do like a big pull down with those along the line, the ends of them. Maybe we'll even like switch these out to something else, but we have the lights here. I'm thinking sea lanterns so that things won't spawn at night on the tracks. So we can have this, have walls on the outside here, so obviously things can't get into the tracks. But if for some reason we need to get out of the tracks, we can easily get out of the tracks. Thought gray terracotta would be nice as an extra block for when we are not on the ground. When we're on the ground, we can obviously keep the grass. And then I also think the walls are a smart idea because we want to have these here. So when we have crosswalks for this area, we'll easily be able to slip in these around here. So like, say, I guess I just do this, right? Say we want to make a crosswalk here. I don't know how wide we're gonna want them, but we'll be able to have this here, and then probably we're gonna want some sort of maybe there. I don't think we have any here. Maybe either dark oak. I had it right in the other slot, but dark oak or deep slate, because then when we're walking, we're going to be like here and we can't go above this. This is when obviously it's up, and then we'll go down a block when it gets pulled down, and then we're able to, because once it gets pulled down, we'll easily be able to walk across. Howdy doody, etc. and so forth. So that's the idea I have for the train tracks right now. I feel like I kind of unintentionally did this, but I think that I really do want to do the copper along the ways. I might end up not doing it, depending on how much it's going to take, because copper is somewhat, not necessarily expensive, but it's not an infinite resource that we have necessarily. It's pretty easy to get, but it's not sort of an infinite resource, though I think you can make copper farms, so that's maybe something I'll look into. I do want to make a drowned farm in general for tridents, so maybe that's something we'll look into as well. We're gonna head back to the actual hardcore world, where I've been sort of AFKing at the gunpowder farm, which had broken, and I had to fix. I don't know if they changed how the redstone works or whatnot, but literally everything about it just didn't work, so... It was a little bit weird. But I'll show you guys what I'm talking about in a second. I don't want any creepers or something. I was like, what is that? Skeleton. But in here, right, this wasn't working for some reason. I used to have a comparator on that block there right next to the lever. And I was like, oh, that's obviously how, like, because that's how I did it in the tutorial. But for some reason, it just doesn't work it didn't work anymore. So I just swapped out the converter to one piece of redstone, and it's been working. So if this works better than before, then that's good. The hardest trick was trying to remember, because you need to have multiple pulses. You can't just have one pulse going around, because you need to have it. You need to have a lot of redstone energy going through there to have the water flow for long enough time for the creeper to get pushed off, but you don't want it too long where it's taking a long time to reset. So let's go see how it's been doing here. So it should... Yeah, so it's pushing creepers down, which is good, and it looks like it's actually functioning. So that's probably why it wasn't functioning before, because the redstone broke. How's it going, Merlin? The biggest thing with the train track right now, I think, is just going to be having to get a bunch of resources and know where we're going with it, because it's going to be a very resource-intensive build, especially when we have to make powered rails and stuff. But I feel like I showed this off last time, but this is the train track here, or the train station, with the start of the train track. We're heading north. I believe it's northeast. We're heading east right now. We're going to end up doing a big loop, but the idea is to have it connect to a bunch of major areas in our Minecraft world, and just be a nice alternative then to just flying around on Elytra and have some fun. And hopefully, when they update, how minecarts work, we can make them go a little bit faster, which would be kind of nice. I'm not quite sure what I want to do today. I did say this is all aboard the Minecraft Express, but that doesn't necessarily mean we have to work on the train. That was just what I've been looking at for right now. Just chilling at work. only 2 hours left. Godspeed, brother, Godspeed. So let's see. Do we have... We don't have, like, any dark oak already made out. I think I'm gonna organize these, maybe. Yeah, we'll organize these. Because I don't think we really need anything unless we want to change up how the building works. Been feeling bad today. My shift keeps getting more and more workload while other departments are literally doing nothing. That is frustrating. That is frustrating. Well, hopefully you can get through it. Really, the big things for this track is going to be tough block, smooth stone, gray terracotta is going to be the biggest stuff. I think maybe we could also today just keep working on the walls here, which also requires dark oak wood. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, to be honest. I kind of regret doing these walls. I kind of don't even like them anymore. I might... Honestly, what I might do... Like, I like this wall. Like, this wall is nice to me. But I really don't like anything else about it. Like, I'm considering... As much as I've already kind of cleared out, I'm considering just cutting it off here. And just saying it goes off one direction and then take these blocks and stuff and rebuild over this area and just cover it up. Just because I don't even feel like it's going to look nice after I connect all the sides. But I also don't want to do that just in case I come back to it and go, like, this is something I really want to do. Because the thing about it is it's one of the first builds I've done in the world, so it's like, I don't even really remember the motivation to continue doing it. I don't really have the motivation to continue doing it. So I don't know if I do or not. Like, I don't know if I do want to continue it. So I feel like I might just leave it for now. Come back to it when I'm feeling it. Because it's just, I feel like I just made it too big. Speaking of walls, we do need to finish the walls around Pneumonia that we haven't even really touched in a long time. We have a lot of things we can finish. I should make a to-do list for things that I need to finish. Maybe we make a book and quill and fly around and think about the things that we need to work on. Because I used to have a to-do list here, more of the idea board, which we were going to make a nine-tailed fox, demon turtle, wolf looking down from Irontown. We technically already did that. Giant boar on the other side. He's not looking down, but half of the outer wall is black with black stone blocks and bone blocks, and quartz. Did that iron golem just fall? Small Enderman Shrine and Benoy's bottles. We actually did most of that, but we didn't finish it. Okay, let me grab a book. Okay. To-do list. Volume. So it's gonna be, we need to finish, make laboratory in Benoy's bottles. Make bedroom in Benoy's bottles. Make library / something in the noise bottles. Finish the castle on the giant sniffer. Can I go up? Could I, like, yeah. Let me just, like, space these out a bit more. And then what else? Finish the outer walls of Main Town or remove them. Um, work on the pixel art project. What's going on? How's it going? Do you want me to call you Jimmy or do you want me to call you, is it Kaito or Kato? What would you prefer? How you doing? We're making a thing. Make train tracks to pneumonia. We're doing a to-do list. Train station at pneumonia. You on your VTuber account? That's all right. If you guys don't know, Jimmy's got a VTuber account, does streams as well. They're pretty sick. I think for the last thing I saw that you were playing was Little Misfortune, which I think is a hilarious game. What else am I trying to do? Oh, finish pneumonia's outer walls. Finish the museum in pneumonia. The problem with the museum, and I still feel like I would like to do the museum, but the problem with the museum was I did a 100 days video in Minecraft that is still not out because it's just so dreadfully boring to fucking edit. I hate it. Like, I have no motivation to finish it. Like, I don't know what. I don't know what happened, but I just lost all the motivation once I started editing the video. And I would like to get it out at some point in my life, but I really don't think it's going to happen. Um and the museum was going to be a thing where I had different museum things, like, dinosaur skeletons, etc. But then I was going to put items from every 100 days video into it and be sort of like a symbolic museum. But it's just like, I'm never going to get that 100 days video out. Kaito? Or Kato? Or Kato? Not Kaito, Kato. Okay, Kato. But yeah, I can't finish that 100 days video. I don't know what's up with it. I just can't. It's so boring to go through and edit all of the stuff. I think if I ever do a 100 days video, I gotta do, if I ever do a 100 days video again, what I have to do is record like 10 days, write a script for it, edit it, record 10 days, treat it like a YouTube video rather than a one big thing, because like I recorded all of it, got burnt out, wrote the entire script, got burnt out, and then tried to edit it, and now I'm completely burnt out. So I want to, but I don't know if I will. So that's the problem with the museum. Make houses in pneumonia. I'm trying to think of anything else, and obviously we can just add more as we go, but that's gonna be our to-do list for right now. As we figure out what to do. I think, though, something that we should start doing, since I want to use this block for the train tracks, I didn't even write down, finish all the dungeons in the trial chambers. Make rogue like game. I haven't even worked on that in forever. That's something else I need to actually do. We mainly just need to finish up the one area in there. We should, might just be a collecting materials stream, to be honest, for all of our little projects, because we do need, stone and stuff like that for there. Because I think we use cobblestone, gravel. It might take some time to organize our stuff a little bit. Because... Okay, we're gonna organize this chest to... And then we're gonna put things for the dungeon in here. Wait, do you do all of this in hardcore? Yes, I do all of this in hardcore. This has been my hardcore world, which I think is 5 years old now. I think, because that's 2019 June. So yeah, it's been over. It's over 5 years now this year. I missed the 5-year anniversary. But I updated the I missed the 4-year anniversary, to be honest. But yes, this is in hardcore. So I think we're gonna need cobblestone, smooth stone. I'm trying to think, like, I think we had like gray concrete. We might have to go visit. That's so badass. Thank you. I appreciate it. I feel like I don't like advertise this as hardcore because I've had a lot of people in the past, like, not necessarily like that I care about this, but I have had people in the past be like, you know, that's not real hardcore because XYZ, you know. So I just go, it's Wondercraft, right? So that's what I call this world, because, you know, I think everybody plays Minecraft differently, but like, I know a lot of people hate Totems of Undying if you play in hardcore. I know people like, I sleep basically every night. I know a lot of people are like, you shouldn't sleep at night. That's not real hardcore. And I'm just like, okay, if it's not real hardcore, I won't classify it as such. I won't advertise it. Okay, we're gonna head over to the trial chamber. Do I have... We need more night vision potions, but I'll grab one out. Hardcore Minecraft YouTubers are insane sometimes. Yeah, I also am just like, yeah, I think hardcore became kind of like a buzzword really quickly, which is also the reason why I didn't want to necessarily call my stuff like hardcore. Like, I'm just playing Minecraft. But some hardcore people are like nuts. They do crazy builds. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's here. I always forget. But yeah, I started playing hardcore because, for me, I hadn't played Minecraft in forever, and actually, like a lot of people, I don't watch him as much as I did before. I sort of watched him, but like, when Philza made his like ode to his 5-year hardcore world, I watched that and I kind of was like, I hadn't played Minecraft in a couple years, like not really, hadn't really thought about it. And I saw that video, I was like, damn, that's like a really cool video. I kind of want to get back into Minecraft, and I was like, I'm gonna try hardcore, because the main problem with me is I've like this is the only Minecraft world that has ever held my interest for long enough. Like, I try to play multiplayer with people, I try to do modded, I try to do, but like I can't, like, it doesn't hold my attention. And the reason why I feel like this world became such a good world for me to keep playing on was because I had so many ideas for it going into it, and then also um on top of that, something with me when I play Minecraft is like I always played with keep inventory. Like, I always played with keep inventory on, because I hated the concept, like I hated losing my stuff and having to start over and having to get my stuff back and like try to get there. So basically what I did was I was like, okay, we'll try hardcore. And the thing that really clicked with me for hardcore is like, if I die, I lose everything. So it's not like I have to lose my, you know, my stuff or and have to go get it back. Like, I just lose everything, I have to start over. And it's kind of more interesting for me, like more entertaining for me that way. Um Without having the prospect of having to end up like clamoring your stuff back. And I've this is my third hardcore world that I've made. None of them have lasted longer than a year other than this one. The first one lasted a couple months, which was, it was one of my more, the first one lasted a while and I enjoyed it. Um and it sucks that I lost it, but I lost it. I can't remember how I died. And then the second one, I died within like the first 5 seconds of the game, basically. I basically just started going in a direction, found a desert temple. And the thing with desert temples is they have the TNT at the bottom with the pressure plate. And of course, I knew this going into that. So I didn't I didn't trigger it. I jumped down, broke the pressure plate, right? Start looting the boxes. What was that sound? Boom. A creeper fell down the 1x1 hole that I dug down to the bottom, landed on top of me, blew me up with the TNT. So, that was my second hardcore world, and then this is my third hardcore world that I've had ever. And that is also why I always clear out the TNT at the bottom, even if it probably would have killed me no matter what, the creeper, but I might have had an opportunity to live if there wasn't TNT at the bottom, because it was, the creeper blows up, maybe I block it with my shield, 9 TNT blows up. You're not gonna live that, unfortunately. I'm gonna clear out this here. I don't remember, it was this one, the blue one. I'm gonna clear out this because this doesn't even work where we want it, so I'm just gonna take this beacon back. So I wrote down while I was talking what we need to get. So we'll try to fill up maybe like a shulker box of each, even though we definitely don't need that. I did say that I wanted to like design the dungeons first before working on the redstone and then retrofitting the redstone into it, but I feel like that is going to come back to bite me in the ass. However, I don't care. I don't know. I feel like it's gonna bite me in the ass, but I feel like I still want to design. I feel like designing them is gonna be more fun anyways. Like, maybe I should try to get the redstone set up, but the hardest part is gonna be trying to get the redstone in areas like the slime dungeon, because the slime dungeon is like directly above the skeleton one, so like the wires are gonna have to be somewhere in the skeleton one. So it's gonna be an interesting workaround, but I feel like we can definitely figure it out. Honestly, it's annoying when people are like, this is the true way to play Minecraft or play the game. Yeah, that's a lot of people play Minecraft, and I think like my thing about Minecraft has always been like play how you want to play, really like because so like for me I have like pretty shitty eyesight, you know? Um and so wearing like a pumpkin on my head kind of sucks, especially if you want to like go to the end wearing a pumpkin on your head to fight the Ender Dragon and not have a bunch of Endermen jumping at you. So I know a lot of people like obviously you could just do this, right? And that's perfectly fine. But I'm thinking like this is basically the same as just not having anything on it. So in this or in this resource pack, I made a resource pack where there instead of carving out a pumpkin, it just has a big hole, you know, and then the big hole lets you just see straight through the pumpkin, so I don't have to worry about having that in front of me. And my mentality with Minecraft has always been like, if you can make it like here, this is the perfect timing. If you can make it like, then it's okay, you know. So like, this is how my pumpkins look in Minecraft with my resource pack. It used to be transparent. I think it changed with some updates, but or maybe it's because I don't have Optifine anymore. But it used to be transparent where you could actually see your face under it, or maybe I need some sort of setting. But this is the this is because I also was like, why if I can carve a pumpkin, why am I carving a scary face? Like why not just carve a hole through it? Because obviously the scary face isn't isn't the problem, I guess, like they just don't Endermen just don't like being looked at. So if they can't see my face looking at them, then why does it matter? So I think like Minecraft very much is like, because I have my opinions of like what is considered like correct of how to play Minecraft, but that's not a rule set I'm inputting on to other people. Like for me, there's a lot of things that I could do in Minecraft that I would consider cheating, but to other people might not be considered cheating. And that's why Minecraft it's just a game that like there is no cheating really, other than like in multiplayer. If you're playing on your own world, do what you enjoy. Because I see so many people like they're especially like larger YouTubers, like it's not necessarily their fault, but I see like a lot of people will see like a large YouTuber that does Minecraft content and does it in a specific way. Maybe it is hardcore, maybe it's etc. and so forth. And they'll kind of ask them opinions like, oh, well, what would you do in this situation? How would you play in this situation? And they'd be like, well, say like, for instance, someone like Philza, right? He goes, I don't like Totems of Undying. I think he's only ever used one totem to get the achievement or something like that, but he doesn't like Totems of Undying. He feels that it's cheap. So people go, oh, Philza, he's a really big YouTuber, streamer that plays Minecraft, and he's the hardcore guy. You can't use totems in hardcore, or else it's not real, And so it's like, no, just because he says that doesn't make it a rule. Like, it's in the game. Just because he doesn't use it doesn't mean you don't have to. Like, you can choose not to, but that's just how it be sometimes. So, this is a long, boring-winded conversation to say why I don't refer to my stuff as hardcore, but that is essentially, ostensibly the point. Okay, let me grab. Are you guys 8 minutes? Yes, you are. Oh, some of these are weird. Yeah, let's grab these. Let's load up. So we need gravel, gray terracotta, or gray concrete. Or light. I think it might be light gray concrete now that I'm saying that. Which I did write that down. Andesite, cobblestone, gravel. So we're just gonna spend some time collecting some stuff, I think, today. Because I do also, as much as like I'm a little burnt out on working on the slime stuff, I do kind of want to get to the next part, which I think will be fun. The next dungeon I have an idea for. I want it to be a desert dungeon. So the idea behind it is because the two mobs that spawn in the next part of the dungeon is they're husks, which are like the desert zombies, and breezes, which are the tornado guys. And I think that it would be really cool to do like a desert theme. And then also, so I have a mod on called custom entity textures and custom entity um uh custom entity textures and custom entity framework or something like that. Custom entity model framework. Basically, it's what allows me to have this custom pickaxe based on just its name is what changes it, right? Custom sword is changed that way. It's how I have multiple different colored chicken. That's where the mod comes from. Um, custom entity is something. I can't. Why am I blanking? I don't know. It's something. I have the Discord. Where is it at? Why am I blind? Here we go. EMF. Yeah, custom model framework and custom or entity model framework and entity texture framework. I'm pretty sure it's ETF EMF. Um, and so something that you can do, you can also do this with Optifine as well, is you can change how a mob looks with the mod based on where it spawns. So I feel like it would be really cool to do it so it's spawning. I don't know if trial chambers count as a thing that you can use, but I wouldn't want to do that anyway. So I'm gonna say, because they're in like a spruce forest, whenever it spawns in like those specific types of spruce forests, the breezes are gonna look like dust tornado, different style looking ones, I think, and I think that could be really cool. That's flares, cooks, Hurlix Volume 1. Swiftness, leaping, strength, healing, regeneration, water breathing, night vision. Night vision is the aqua potion plus a golden carrot. Okay. Thank you, Hurlix. Not boring. Sorry, I feel like we get into the weeds, you know? I just kind of start talking. It's a long-winded thing. Okay, so we need golden carrots, which I don't even know if we have. I'm pretty sure we can... Just gonna take those. Might as well. I have 6 god apples? I did not know that. Sometimes... Well, I did, but I guess I forgot. You sell me those. Yeah. So we're gonna need... Are golden carrots in here, actually? Yes. Okay. We're gonna make some more night vision potions. That's also exactly the reason why I want to make the library a thing in Minecraft. Partly being stolen from Mog Swamp. Partly also I just had that thought, but then I'm now implementing it because I saw Mog Swamp implement it. I want to have a library with things in Minecraft that... So I can, like, don't have to look it up online. I can just look it up in my Minecraft library. And then give it, like, fun lore things, you know, like, fun names. So we had Flair's Cooks, which was, his cookbook. His Flair's... I asked people, like, what is something that you guys forget how to do in Minecraft, and you always have to look it up? And Flair's like, well, you know, how to make, like, pumpkin pie and stuff. Like, that's actually not a bad, suggestion. Okay, we'll just do that. Actually, we'll do one more. Excuse me. You're at 8 minutes. You're at 8 minutes. Make sure that these are all awkward potions. Yeah. Awkward. Yeah, these should be all awkward. I also think desert areas, I forgot to do that one. I think desert areas are always so fun, like desert dungeons, sand towns, dunes are fun. I think they have a similar vibe of like um ice ice areas, but ice areas tend to have sucky mechanics in them usually, which makes their beautiful vibes terrible. I think hardcore for me is just selecting hardcore when you make the world and the rest is a free game. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, I saw this really funny thing today. So I was looking at trains in Minecraft again to talk about, because I don't know if some of you guys might have not been here, but I was working on designing the train some more, so I made a railing that will go around the train, and then whenever we go above ground, this is kind of what the base of the train, or the bottom of the track's going to be. So I was looking up more Minecraft train things. And then this video I got recommended to me was like, whoever this YouTuber is caught faking hardcore world at 3,000 days or something like that. And I'm like, that's kind of interesting. I'll click on it. And so the guy's like building a railway, and he's placing stuff, and okay, let me try to like recreate it for you, just so you guys understand fully what's going on in this. So this guy's building like a railway in Minecraft. Pretend these are powered rails. So he's over here, he's talking, right? And he's got powered rails in his inventory, and his inventory kind of looks like this. And so the person in the video is like, look at this corner here, right? Look at this corner here. It's pointing like an arrow, and the guy starts placing stuff, right? And they go, like, look, it hasn't changed. He's cheating. And it made a whole video. Like, it wasn't like a big video, but it was just like, they're cheating. They're not using up the stuff in their inventory when they're building. And it's like, yeah, because they're using it from here. And the guy, he's like a pretty big hardcore guy, it seems. I don't know anything about him personally. I don't know his name. His name's like S7 something. But he commented on the video like, I don't know how I cheated here, but I'm just placing rails. And the person that posted the video is like, I'm sorry, I'm so blind. I'm just like, man, imagine like posting that as a video, as like a gotcha. You know, I mean, I don't know. It's just like, why you do this? All right, let's look. So we're gonna look for like cobblestone. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're gonna get 5 shulkers. Let's get 5 shulkers first before we start looking at stuff. Because we're gonna fill 5 shulkers with stuff. So we have 1 shulker here. I think we actually do have. We might have some more shulkers in here. We do have some. We should look at these actually, because actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we basically have 5 already in here. Let's just do this. Because I'm trying to color code my stuff to organize myself a little bit better. And the black shulker boxes are for building materials for projects. We have 5 here. We have 1 that's basically filled with stone. So we'll keep that one filled with stone. We'll put that one with gravel. We'll try to put the stone away if we have a spot for it. I'll put overflow in here. How about that? We have gravel in here. This is all stone. Some more stone, some more gravel. Gravel in here. We'll take the stone out. We might need more overflow bins. There's a shulker of cobblestone here. Stone. So this will be the light. This will be the light gray. Right? Is light gray? It is light gray. Okay. More gravel for this one. The rest is stone. Okay. Not that having stone isn't good. We might need to convert some of the stone to cobblestone later. Okay, so stone, gravel, light gray. Let's get this cobblestone here. And then andesite was the last one. We'll keep this one as that. We'll keep that one as moss, and I guess we'll just turn one of these into andesite. Take this. Okay, let's look through. Let's do the task of looking through all of my chests to see if we have any andesite. This is not andesite, but I'm doing a little pre-picking. I think you can craft andesite, so it's not the end of the world if we don't have andesite. But having it would make life a little bit better. I'm like, why can't I jump up here? Having this here is actually such a pain. It's perfect, but it's a perfect amount, but it's kind of a pain. We could get more clay, but I kind of like having the clay very sparingly around the spawners. It was unintentional, but okay, we're gonna take that. Okay, we're gonna actually. Looks like this chest is pretty empty here, so we can fill her up. Okay, so this is the andesite, gravel, cobblestone. I'm pretty sure we don't have any andesite in the basement area, the storage room. Andesites. Okay. And then we need cobblestone, which I didn't see too much cobblestone, though I wasn't super looking. Mainly because we probably have a lot of regular stone, because when you have silk touch, like, why use anything else? We might need to get some stone. I should check the stone generator that we have. Okay. Let's grab these. Grab this. Actually, before we go, let's put the stone one away, because we do not need to fill stone anymore, actually. And then also let's put this one away. Go check the stone generator thing. You never think you'd need, like, an actual machine farm thing to make stone for you. This is my failed attempts at trying to make a basalt farm. Didn't really work out. This is my stone farm. It did really work out. Yeah, these are empty. So what we would do, come in here, and we kind of just hold down the button. What I used to do is I used to have a mic stand. I hate that Minecraft still hasn't figured out how to fix the phantom blocks. But what I used to do was I had a mic that had a stand, and I would put the stand on the mouse of my, or the touchpad of my laptop on the left click and just let it run. It feels like the phantom blocks is, like, worse than usual. Maybe I'm just crazy. And what I mean by phantom blocks, if you guys don't get it, get what I'm saying, is when you try to break a block and it just doesn't break, or you try to break a block and it says it's still there even though it's not. It happens when you insta-mine things a lot. So I would love to like make an actual like completely automatic stone farm or something. That would be kind of cool. But yeah, so that gets us like a couple of stacks. So we can be here for a little bit. How do we crafting andesite? We do also need cobble for andesite and diorite. So I might actually, I don't know. We could go caving for andesite. Is that worth? Scout for Minecraft setups? Yeah, exactly. It's because I never could really figure out how to get like an auto clicker thing going where it just holds down left click. But yeah, I'll just put this on and kind of keep it on the background, keep my eye on it just in case something happened, even though nothing should be able to get in here. But knowing me, something's going to fall into the lava and hit me somehow. This is basically how I made all of the, or got all of the stone for, what is it called, pneumonias. I feel like maybe it would be faster just to clear out an area with, like, a beacon. I don't know. But this is an easy way to just infinitely do it. I think I used to do this while in online classes as well. I know I AFK'd on the gold farm and worked on flooding the end. During online classes. I did a presentation in my class and then immediately went and started working on flooding the end when the other people were doing their presentations. It was literally like the last day of classes for that. We had to do our presentation, and then once we finished, I completely checked out. Respectfully. Like, you can't pay me to listen to these people. Actually, you could. I'd do a lot of things for money. The real college experience? Exactly. I only did it in classes that I kind of had a grasp on, / towards the end of my college years. Because I had fucking a case of the fuck yous at the end of university. I wanted out as quickly as possible. Dude, the last semester of university, I don't know if I've probably talked about it before when it happened, but it was so bullshit. Because, so basically, there was two courses, like, two ways you could take the course. It's like, you could either do this, like, one way, or you take this one course that you have to take, and then you get into, like, all this other stuff. And I was fully like, yeah, I'm going to try and get into everything and do all this stuff. And I got to that course, and it's the only course I have ever gotten a D on in my life because the professor was horrible, was terrible, was awful. Like, teachers are bad, and sometimes, like, she didn't want to be there. She didn't want to teach at all. Like, people would be like, could you explain this again? And she'd be like, no, just read the textbook or something. Like, just Just look at your notes. Look at your notes again. Like, no, I don't. I literally don't understand how this works. Like, students were like, I would love another example if you could give us another example. And she's like, well, you just infer. You just infer on what you think. Like, it was like, you can't just say like, oh, just think about it. Like, people don't understand. So she did not want to be there, and she was the only one that had taught that class for like 2 decades. So I was like, I literally can't do it. I have to move to the other branch of my degree. And so I moved to the other half, and I had to move to the other path. You have to meet with an advisor, and I was basically like, I want to just try to, this is what I want to do. And I'm like, so I just want to ask, like, what do I need to do to get a degree? And they're like, you can my counselor literally said you can basically do anything. Like, you can take any courses you want, as long as you get enough credits, you pass. Basically, that's exactly what they said. I'm like, okay, sweet. I will. In my brain, I'm like, I don't have to, but I'm gonna take all of the courses that are like computer science courses because I want to learn as much about computer science as possible before I leave. And I was told I could take any course. End of the year comes back. I go apply for my. I apply for graduation and they come back during my exams, my final exams for this year, and they go, "Oh, basically all of the credits you're doing right now, except for one, aren't going towards your degree because you can only have a certain amount of computer science courses for your degree. You have to do other elective courses. You can't do computer science." And so I'm like, I was told I could literally do anything. So I chose to do computer. I chose to take harder courses just because I wanted to learn, but I can't because it was towards my degree. So I contacted the counselor that I talked to. I was like, "Hi, I'm not like blaming you or anything, but you told me I could literally do anything, and they're saying I'm not going to graduate this year because I decided to do anything." And yeah, and I was studying for my finals on the courses that did not matter. I contacted like a teacher that I really liked, a really good professor. I was like, "Please, there's got to be something I can do." And she's like, "No, there's just really nothing you can do." And I'm like, "That is not a satisfying answer." So I contacted the person that told me I could do anything, and he was like, "You know what? Like, shout out to this guy though. Like, as much as he like kind of fumbled the bag there, he literally when I contacted him, he was like, this is absolutely 100% my fault. I will contact the school board and I will see if I can get you an appeal for your graduation, right?" And so they go to like the school board people, and I feel like this is how I imagine this happened, because also they had a website that showed you everything that like all your courses, right? And on the web page, it's like showing you like what you need to graduate. On the web page, down the line was all green check mark, green check mark, green check mark. You will graduate, green check mark. There was nothing indicating you do not have enough credits for this. You do not have. There's nothing indicating that. So I also, so looking at that, obviously, I'm like, oh, I'm doing perfectly fine because green check mark, green check mark, green check mark. So I contact them. They say there's nothing they can do. We go through this whole rigmarole. I tell them this is like on your website. It literally does not say I'm doing anything wrong. So like I don't understand like how I'm supposed to know I'm doing something wrong if your website is literally telling me I'm doing everything perfectly fine. And so they're like, yeah. So this is how I imagine the conversation with the school board went. They went, yeah, we kind of fucked up this, but we can't let him think that we fucked up this because then they'll think that we fuck up things. So like we can't let other students know that we fuck up things. So we can't let them think that we're at fault. So this is what we're gonna say. They go, okay, we will give you all of the credits you got from that semester that you did, except for like 3 or whatever, like 1 course worth. So you have to take 1 more course to graduate. And so I took a course in the summer. Took an anthropology course. It was a pretty good course actually. And then graduated in October. But it's like, okay, you're gonna just, because if it was like, oh, we fucked up, yeah, have all the courses, you did the work, whatever. But it's them going like, we don't want to admit that we fucked up. So, you have everything but this. You know, it's like, yeah, this is, to me, this is telling me that you agree that you fucked up. This is my opinion, is that it feels like you agree that you fucked up. Because why would you give me anything? If it wasn't your fault, you wouldn't give me anything. So, if it was completely my fault, you know, this was also during COVID. So it's like, if it was my fault, you know, then they wouldn't have, I don't think they would have given me anything. Why would they? So, yeah, I finished my one course and got out of there, and then my degree has done nothing for me. But hey, at least I know how to deal with traumatic experiences. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Okay. I don't want to take any of the gravel out of here, because this gravel is meant for concrete whenever we use it, but I'm going to fill this up with sand. We also seem to have some more light gray here, so we'll get some more light gray. But yeah, that's my college career stories, or university rather. I have some great university stories. I feel that's so hard because my uni never said I couldn't use the same classes for my major and minor until senior year. Yeah, it's ridiculous how stupid some of these systems are. And like, they are really designed, like, schools like that, like universities and colleges and stuff, like a lot of them, I mean, not all of them, but like a lot of them I feel like are really designed to make money. They are a business at the end of the day, because like, you're really punishing someone for doing more than they need to do for learning. Like, if it was really oh, we're all about learning and teaching, you would go, you did the fucking work, you put in, there's no, like, oh, you need to take other courses. It's because the other courses need funding, right? Like, if nobody takes, like, philosophy, the philosophy people are going to go out of business. So you have to take philosophy or, like, some extra course. You have to force people to be able to take other courses other than, like, oh, you want to be a scientist? Well, you can't take scientist. You have to take creative writing. Like, it's like, that's so pointless. Like, I took intro to English poetry. I took fucking, like, data warehousing for it, and they were like, no, that doesn't count because it already counts towards your, like, your degree. It's like, fucking hell. Like, I'm I was so mad, and my one professor that I really liked kept, like, checking in on me, like, are you okay? And I was like, I'm not okay. Like, I'm not okay. I'm so pissed right now. And she's like, I'm like, I'm fucking certified in warehousing data. And it's for literally nothing. Like, I'm just like, I went through, like, literally one of, like, the most stressful semesters of my life for no reason. Like, I worked so hard that semester for absolutely no reason. Okay, let's take, we're gonna make some light gray dye. No. This we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, we need more of that. Probably gonna need more, but c'est la vie. Though I did, like, get to be in a video game course that was pretty fun, where I made my own video game at the end of the year. I wish I did a little bit more for it, but my problem with making my own video game was I wanted to, like, really go in on all the art and stuff like that. And so I feel like the game looks kind of like, it doesn't look professional, none like at all, but like I really wanted to make like cool characters and design stuff for the game, and that really ate into my time. Where the professor's like, "Oh, how's it going along?" And I'm just like, I don't know if I'm gonna meet the deadline." They're like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Cause I'm working way too hard on this stuff." And they're like, "Well, we can extend the time limit if you want." I'm like, "I'll try my best to get it." I ended up getting it out, but I was just like stressing myself out, being like, I'm running out of time. One of my favorite university stories, though, I definitely have told this one, but not everybody has been around forever, so, you know, that's the best part about stories, is you can just tell them over and over again to new people, and it's fresh. But, one of my favorite stories was I was in an intro to business class, and I just flunked the shit out of the first midterm. Like, the first midterm was worth, like, I want to say like 20% of our grade, 25% of our grade, and I just flunked the absolute shit out of it. Like, I don't even know what happened. Like, I just completely flunked the shit out of it. And I was like, well, I'm screwed kind of thing. And then, the only other thing that, it was, I don't even know if it was 25. It might have been like 40 or something like that. And then, like, there was, a paper we had to write at the end of the year that was 60% of our grade. It was literally like 2 things. And I, like, flunked this horribly. And so I'm like, I gotta, like, do better. I gotta try and get stuff off or I'm gonna fail this. Like, I had a D, like, in the class at the time. And I'm like, I gotta pick this up. And so we have to do this paper, and I procrastinated so heavily on this paper, that I, like, wrote out basically, like, the rough draft for it. Actually, no, I didn't even write the rough draft out for it. I thought I had, like, a couple more days left or something like that, but I got into class, and my teacher was like, "Okay, everybody, hand in your papers," and I was like, "Oh, fuck." And so I went up to her, I was like, "Ma'am, I'm so sorry," because she was, like, very adamant, like, do not email me your papers. You have to hand them in. And I was like, "Ma'am, I'm really, really sorry, but I completely forgot to bring my paper. Could I email it to you?" And she's like, "No, print it out and bring it to me at the end of the day." And I'm like, "You want me to go home, print out my paper, and come back?" And she was like, "Fine, you can email it to me." I was like, "Thank you so much, ma'am." I get on the bus home, and I wrote it in the notes app on my iPhone, wrote the rough draft, got home, edited the rough draft, had my mom and my sister look over it, and then emailed it to her, right? And it is, like, probably one of the worst things I've ever written in my life. It is probably one of the worst things I've ever written in my life. It's literally just me repeating the same thing over and over again, because it was like, you have to read these 3 articles and then explain, like, what they have to do with business or something like that. It's, like, the worst thing. So basically, like, what I did was, like, I was like, okay, it has to do with business because it talks about this here. It has to do about, like, that was exactly what I wrote. Like, it was the worst thing I had ever wrote. And I was like, I'm gonna get fucking slaughtered. Like, she already doesn't like me. Like, I handed it in wrong, like, late. She already doesn't like me. And it's the worst thing I've ever written. I am fucked. I'm so fucked. I'm gonna have to, like, drop out of the class or something. Like, I'm so fucked. And so, the day comes when she's gonna hand it out, and I'm not a religious man. I'm not a religious person. My dad is very, very, very Catholic. He is incredibly Catholic. He raised us Catholic. He's very Catholic. I went to, like, Catholic schools on Monday, learned about God. I'm not super religious, though. But in very, very few cases, I will pray to God to ask for help. And maybe I should start getting religious. Maybe this is a sign. So I pray to God, right? I go, "God, whether you're real or not, I know I don't deserve it, but if you give me a passing grade, I will go to church with my dad on Sunday. I will go to church with my dad on Sunday if you give me a passing grade, God. I do a little prayer to myself in the back corner of the room. First person called up to get their stuff. Me. So I walk up there. She hands it to me folded upside down. Fuck. If that's not a universal sign for you got a fucking 0, nerd, I don't know what is. I completely just dead inside, trudge back to my chair, sit down. I don't even want to look at it. I'm so pissed. I'm like, fuck. I turn it over. A+. Huh? I flip through it to make sure it's mine. Flip back to the front. A+. I look at 98%. She said fantastic job written on it. Like, best one in the class or something like that. So I went to church with my dad on Sunday. I'm a man of my word. I went to church with my dad on Sunday. Because holy crap. God said, yo, bet. I passed that course with a B+. Dude, it was the most come to Jesus moment, you know? It was the most like God actually might be real, you know? Like I could maybe have a convincing. But I was like, I thought I was going to fail that course so bad. I still think it's one of the worst things I've ever written to this day. But I think I wrote it so well as like to just answer the question. Like, I didn't add fluff to it. It was all just like answering the prompt, which I feel like might have been my saving grace. The fact that I probably got the best grade in the class on it, like, blows my mind to this day. Like, I don't know how I did that. And that teacher did not like me. She did not like me. Not like necessarily like she hated me, but like I think she just like was tired of me. I don't know if that makes sense. Like one time she asked like the class, because she was talking about like she's like, some of your guys's like essays, this was before she handed them back or something like that. Maybe it was like a week after she handed it back, but she was like, some of your guys' fucking essays, she didn't say fucking, but she's like, some of you guys' essays like are terrible. Like, did you guys even read them? Like, she's like sometimes, like, you guys, I think you're just doing it to make me upset. Like, that was what she was saying. And she's like, raise your hand if you actually read over your papers. And I kind of timidly raised my hand because I'm like, I did. Like, I did read over my paper. And she's like, put your hand down. I don't even want to talk to you. Like, she literally said, she goes, put your hand down. I don't even want to talk to you. Like, don't even get me started with you. And everybody's like, what's up with that? Like, people started whispering about it, and I'm like, oh. I'm like, please, my social anxiety, I can't. She was like, don't even get me started with you. Put your hand down. I was like, sorry. For better or for worse, she was a very good professor, though. I liked her because she did intro to business, and she ran a business. And she was telling us about, like, you know, how to run a business, etc. and so forth. And one of my favorite things about it was she was like, don't get into business with a significant other or your spouse. She goes, I work with my husband, and it works only because he just does exactly what I say all the time. He just does everything I say, and he's perfect. So, but that will not work for you. Just like, I'm like, okay. She was saying that to like the whole class, but I'm just like, what? She's like, it works for me because my husband is perfect and does everything I say without question. And I'm like, all right. Do you ever get those dreams where it's like the end of the semester and you haven't done anything? Dude, I had that dream the other day. Like, not even the other day, like last year I had that dream. I had a dream that my university called me up and said, oh, actually, you didn't complete that last course. Like, you still need to complete that last course, and it's the final exams right now, and you haven't shown up to any of the classes. Like, I've had that dream. You know, like, where it's like, I have that all the time. That's where I'm like, that's why I'm like, I feel like schools have a problem. If people are having like literally PTSD dreams about school, like I feel like that's not okay, right? Like if it's that bad, I feel like we gotta figure out a better way to teach our children. If it's literally making you have PTSD. Puts you back in high school. Yeah. I get more university than high school because high school for me was fine. Like other than just people being dicks, high school for me was fine. I didn't have to worry about anything really in high school. Like I was pretty good. I wasn't like the top of my class, but I ended the year with honor roll. Um on like the lower end though. But I'm gonna go dig for gravel, I think, is my next objective, and if we find andesite, that's good too. Because we need gravel, and then we also need gravel for the concrete. Yeah, I get those dreams all the time. I should have brought in... I mean, there's gravel here. I was gonna say I should have... you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna grab, I'm gonna go grab some torches. Actually, we have torches. We have a whole shulker box of torches. Where are they? Yeah, right here. And I had some in my inventory. Because I'm blind. I know I'm blind. I'm blind. She's blind. Yeah, school kinda sucks. I would be happy if I never ever had to go back into any sort of like school environment ever again. The closest thing I'd want to do to like a school environment is just being trained at a job. Let me grab gravel here. School is really the worst system. I feel like, like honestly, the more you think about it, like school is just stressful, and then also it's like, oh, if you fail, you just have to pay us more money now. Like it's really just not the best system. Let's see if I can close off this water stream here so it's not in the way. Oh. I don't know if that Jeremy Power, thank you for the follow. I feel like that might have been on Twitch. Unless you subbed here, but thank you for that. Jeremy, if you are with us, thank you. But I'm actually gonna go click on my Twitch to see. Yeah, Jeremy Power just followed me on Twitch. Thank you, Jeremy. Shout out to Jeremy. I thought I was following you on Twitch, but I wasn't. I'm unsure why I wasn't following you anymore on the wife's YouTube. Oh, how's it going? Yeah, we just got that on it. How's it going? Welcome on in. Ugh. Has it been? I feel like it's been quite a little bit. I feel like it's been a little bit, right? I feel like I have faint memories of us talking about gacha games while playing Digimon. Is that right? Am I thinking of the right person? But how you doing? We're just collecting some materials right now to work on a build. Go up here. That's funny that, like, I get the follow on Twitch and then you actually are here when I'm like, are you here? Because usually when I get, like, a follow on Twitch while I'm streaming on YouTube, it's just someone following my Twitch. Like, it just happens, you know? So that's actually really funny. How are you doing? Yeah, it was Digimon was when I watched lots. Work and kids been taking up all the time lately, but no work today as I hurt my back. Ooh, no, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. So I thought I'd watch you game. Sweet. I mean, I'm always here for the company. This is the perfect game to just chill and chat during, so if that's something you're interested in, you know, it's the perfect game. Hope your back feels better, man. That sucks. And hope the kids are doing well. Hope the missus is doing well. That's pretty sick. As much as they can be a little bit crazy at times, you know. Family's nice. Ugh, nothing's really changed over here for me. Still streaming, still trying to find, like, more permanent work than what I'm doing. Your oldest back home? That's sick. That's always good, especially around. Is Thanksgiving happening soon? Oh, actually, I don't think you're not from America, right? So I don't think Thanksgiving is happening for you, right, Jeremy? Unless it is the same, I don't know. Because I think you were from jolly old England, right? Australia. Oh, I'm so wrong. I don't know why. That makes sense. Dude, I would love to visit Australia. Last week of November in America. Yeah, we had it in October. Australia is definitely one place I would like to visit, though I'm not good with the heat. Australia is kinda I don't know if you were taught this in school, but in school with me, in Canada, we're taught that like Australia is basically like our sister country. Because we were both colonies of Great Britain. So, like it's kind of like, you know, Canada and Australia are sisters, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. That always stuck with me. And then I guess that would make America our cousin. 29th of November is Thanksgiving here. Oh, interesting. Okay, because it's in October in Canada. So yeah, that's good. If you have your, I don't know if like what your plans are, but having your oldest around for a little bit of the holidays at least, if not for the whole holidays, that's pretty sick. I know my sister is coming for Christmas, which is just such a gift. I wonder how much like, cause like I know Thanksgiving means certain like is a certain point in like American history, you know? But I'm wondering if like cuz I don't really know like my understanding for Thanksgiving for Canada is kind of like the same as American Thanksgiving. I actually don't know if the day when we do it has any sort of like um what is it called? Meaning behind it and it's just we picked a different day. I actually don't know. Let's look that up. Let's learn today. Chat. Let's learn. Why is Canadian Thanksgiving in October? In October. Canadian Thanksgiving is set as the second Monday in October when the weather is still amendable for outdoor activities. Oh, interesting. Winter comes in a lot earlier in Canada, so our fall harvest happens earlier too. Interesting. So is that the reason? Let's look at Wikipedia. Thanksgiving, the annual holiday held on the second Monday of October outside the country. It may be referred to as Canadian Thanksgiving to distinguish it from American holidays on the same name and related celebrations in other regions. Thanksgiving was been officially celebrated as an annual holiday in Canada since November 6, 1879. While the date varied by year and was not fixed, it was commonly the second Monday in October. On January 31st, 1957, the Governor General of Canada, Vincent Massey, issued a proclamation stating a day of general thanksgiving to Almighty God for the bountiful harvest with which Canada has been blessed, to be observed on the second Monday in October. Interesting. I did not know that. Cool. I actually did not know that. The more you know. So it's like our harvest festival, I guess. That is kind of cool. Because I always like whenever I think about like Thanksgiving, and I think like it will always have this connotation. Is like I think about how in with like America, very generically, Thanksgiving is held as like a celebration of like I'm very stupid and don't know American history very well. So, excuse me, but like is it not to do with like the Pilgrims meeting the First Nations people in America and having some sort of banquet, or is that just purely fiction and has nothing to do with that? Um because that's how like Thanksgiving I feel like is always portrayed. So that's what I think about when I think about Thanksgiving. And I think that still it definitely holds a connotation for being like related to people who were the like the First Nations, the Aboriginal people of the Americas, here in Canada as well, even though ours is a harvest festival celebration rather than that. It's very fictional. I get like I get that the story is fictional, but like is that what you're celebrating? Like what is your Thanksgiving celebration for, I guess? Let's you know what? Let's look. Let's learn. um why do Americans celebrate Thanksgiving? Americans celebrate Thanksgiving. In honor of the first Thanksgiving in 1619 in Virginia and 1621 when colonists in Plymouth, Massachusetts, later known as the Pilgrims, allegedly shared a meal with the Wham. I'm gonna butcher this so bad. Wham Pangawa. I no, I'm so sorry. Wampanoag. Aboriginals who were native to the land. Uh, Interesting though. It says Thanksgiving Day annual national holiday in the United States and Canada celebrate the harvest and other blessings of the past year. Americans generally believe that their Thanksgiving is modeled by the 1621 harvest festival shared by the English colonists and the Plymouth and the Wampanoag people. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it. And I don't want to be disrespectful. Huh. So I guess that so it is another harvest festival, but it's also a alleged story about sharing a meal with the original people that lived on that land. Hmm. It's like supposedly based off the story of the Pilgrims. Wampanoag. Wampanoag? Is that how you pronounce it? Again, I apologize, but thank you for correcting me. Um in Canada, I don't know if you have to do this in America, but in Canada, in a lot of schools, something that's kind of interesting is we have in university, to talk a little bit more about university, we have a thing where you have to learn, you basically have to take like an indigenous history course where you learn about the indigenous people of Canada. And it could be a variety of different things like indigenous history, indigenous art, etc., and so forth. I took indigenous art because I felt like that was a fun course to take because I like art, and it was um, a very fascinating class that I learned a lot about different stuff. And one of the things that I learned, which is kind of interesting, and it's a little bit like, it's weird, but like makes like it's not weird in the sense that it's like bad. It's weird in like the sense of like how that ended up turning out, because basically there is a group of people. I don't know if it's still if people still classify themselves as this. I think there are some people that do. If there aren't, I apologize. But there was like a specific name. I can't remember the name of it now that I'm saying this, but there's a specific name that meant like. Sorry, wife. Also talking, not listen, or talking to me, still listening. Fair enough. Fair enough. But one of the things was there was a specific name that like meant like enemy, right? I can't remember the name, but it was like the pilgrims would come in and ask one group, because like obviously the Aboriginal people of the Americas are not one group of people. They're a bunch of different like groups, tribes, etc., and so forth. Like they're all very different cultures, very different people. And so they would be like, okay, so you're like, the Cherokee. Who are those guys? And they would be like, oh, those guys are like evil, because they're like, maybe they have a warring thing with them. Like they don't like this group of people for whatever reason, right? Because there's, they have conflicts with different groups. So maybe they didn't like that group for some reason. They had like a word for it that I can't remember. And so that actually ended up becoming the classification for some tribes, where they would basically misclassify certain tribes, because they would ask one tribe and be like, oh, who's that? And they'd be like, oh, that's the Cherokee, that's the Anishinaabe, that's this, there, and that. And then it would be like, oh, those guys. I think like the word meant like snake in the language, but I can't remember the word. But they're like, those are the snakes. Those are like the bad people. And so they'd be like, oh, those are the snakes. Like that. Interesting. Like they didn't get the nuance of the word because they didn't understand the language. So there was the miscommunication there, and would mislabel certain groups of people as that word, as that like that is their tribe. And I believe some people still like that has sort of become its own tribe in its own group of people, because people grew up being like, oh, well, I was called that. That's what I am. That's the tribe I'm in, even though it's like a misclassification, which I found was very interesting. That happened, so it like ended up sort of making its own group of people. I also ended up doing a really cool group project in that class talking about like Aboriginal medicines, and it was a very fun thing to like look into, because I feel like a lot of people, when they think about like First Nations Aboriginal people like medicine, they think of like very like the knots, like they're like, when I say like the witch doctors, I mean like the ones where they don't really understand like the cartoonish like American version of like what a witch doctor is, like someone that does like a goofy dance and it makes it rain, right? Like not an actual like spiritual, like they whatever, people are, they'll show on like TV or something, it will be like a goofy sort of thing rather than like what they actually do. Maybe they do some sort of like dance or ritual, but it has some sort of spiritual meaning behind it rather than it just being a goofy funny thing. So it was really interesting to learn about it, especially like the more physical medicines, because I can't remember the name, because this has been like 4 years at least since I did this project. But there was a education on indigenous people in the U.S. is so iffy, but I'm happy we covered my state's tribes a lot in elementary school. That's awesome. I think it is something that like a lot of people in my school didn't really like it, because you were kind of forced to learn it. But I feel like it's actually really important to learn it, because we don't really cover it in history. because we usually just kind of go like, oh yeah, they were colonized, the end. Like we don't actually like go in depth about them. But with the group project I studied like we were doing medicines and different kinds of like healing things. So like one member of our group would study like the spiritual aspect of medicine, and like one person would do like the like the I can't remember exactly, but like the like this, and mine was like the physical aspect of medicine, where it was like what kind of physical medicine did they actually make. And I think it's very important to like understand that the people like First Nations people weren't like primitive people. Like they're not like cavemen. They're just different to what we were back then. Like they knew more about certain things that we didn't. Like they taught like the pilgrims that came in how to farm in the dry lands that like weren't farmable because they didn't know how to farm. So it's not like the pilgrims are stupid because they didn't know how to do that. It's because they had different experiences. So it's like I think the the problem with like a lot of perception of Aboriginal people is that they're like somehow more primitive than like everybody else in the world, but they weren't. And it was really cool to learn about their medicine, but also because the point I'm getting to is like some people also like I feel like they are portrayed as like almost magical in the sense, because like you either have people talking about like their spiritual medicine as like the goofy dances and like chantings, but it's not. And then on the other flip side, it's like, oh, they have these mystical powers where like they can heal you through like touch and stuff, and where it's like that's not really how that works. Like there's a lot of different, like a lot of the things are based in reality. It's not just like spiritual things. And one of my favorite articles I read, I can't exactly remember, but it was a medicine man who was basically, his task was to figure out different medicines. And and this was before he got unfortunately moved into gotten colonized, I guess, and taken over, and was forced to not do those practices anymore. But he was talking about how like him figuring out medicines was not unlike how other people would figure out medicines. Like his things were just trial and error. Like he found out that you can make, I think he found something that like a certain tea that he boiled helped with like passing like stomach flus, like finishing stomach flus and getting like kidney stones out. And then he also found that like they used birch like bark as sunscreen. Like you would shave birch bark into sunscreen and like rub it on your skin, and it would protect you from the sun. But then he was also like, I'm not some sort of like wizard that I just know all these things. Like I, am one with Mother Nature in the sense that like, oh, I can just automatically figure this out because I am an Aboriginal person. He did trial and error. Like he's like, I found all these really cool medicines that I feel like I could have found out even more if I continued. But there was a ton of times where like he said he tried to make a medicine for his, like for eyes. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he tried putting these berries in his eyes, like squishing the juice into the eyes, and all it did was sting his eyes and hurt his eyes. That's all it did. And so it was kind of an interesting thing to learn about, where it was like, yeah, like we're not some mystical, like they're not like druids, like they're not some magical beings that like have these supernatural powers, and they're not these goofy people. They're just different people with different experiences and different trial and error things with, like that may not follow us like the quote unquote scientific process that we in the Western world now see. But like they were discovering things that we never discovered, and we were discovering things they didn't discover. Like it's a unique perspective to look at like things, like even like in stories, right? Sorry, I'm trying not to get onto like the the weeds here, but like in stories and like a lot of Aboriginal, not a lot of, like I don't want to say a lot of to generalize, and because maybe like it was one tribe or something, I don't know. I'm not an expert, like, right? I'm not a be all end all expert. I don't claim to be an expert. I'm not an expert. But it was just, these are some kind of the interesting things that I learned in that class. Was one of them was they, like, for years, actually, I didn't learn this in a class. We went to go see a speaker come to our school as part of the class, and it was really, really cool. Because he was also talking about, like, different medicines. And, one of the things that was cool to me was that he was like, for like years, like, some groups would pass on stories of, like, the trees talking to each other, right? And people would be like, these guys are crazy, trees can't talk, right? Like, obviously not. But then, like, now later down the line, we now know that, like, plants kind of do communicate with each other, share resources with each other in, like, a large forest. Like, we've seen, you know, like, mushrooms and, like, trees talking to each other in the sense of, like, passing on energy, their roots meeting and stuff. And it's like, so it's like, just because we didn't understand it doesn't mean they were wrong. Like, it's just because we couldn't prove it doesn't mean they're wrong. And I felt like that's just kind of interesting, where, you know, you might look at something that might be considered, like, a fictional spiritual style tale, but it actually is real if you, like, they knew what they were talking about, is what I'm trying to say. Like, they weren't just making shit up, and it wasn't this mystical thing. They knew what they were talking about. And I think that's kind of interesting. Like, European medicine was any better at the time? Yeah, exactly, too. Like Europeans were using, like, like, Europeans didn't bathe. Like, Aboriginal people bathed. Like, like, you know, like, so it's like, I think it's the thing of, like, there's not enough education to talk about that they are, like, I feel like they're still thought of as, like, these primitive people that, like, lived in tents and sang and danced, where it's like, actually, they're just people with a completely different culture to yours. And, like, that's what I feel like needs to be taught a little bit more. And that, especially, like, not even just that, but, like, that some of the teachings they had could still be useful today. Like any teachings. Like, I'm not a religious person, but I still feel like stories from the Bible could be pretty important to teach people, you know? Like, I think that's still, like, it's still an alright thing to look at and see some of the ideas of it and go, oh yeah, that's actually could be helpful. You know, like, love thy neighbor. Yeah, I think everyone should love thy neighbor. Do I believe all of the things in the Bible? No, like, I don't. So it's just, you know, I think it's, we gotta learn from people rather than, like, shunning them because they're different in that sense, or, like, just because we don't understand them doesn't mean they're wrong. That also is like, kind of a thing that I learned in the anthropology class, which was a pretty good perspective to have on cultures that I don't think a lot of people share, because it is hard. But, like, with anthropologists, they have to go into a culture and they can't, like, demean it, in a sense of, like, if they say, like, oh, you need to, like, this food gives you strength, right, to hunt, and you have to drink it before every time you go hunting or something like that. Like, you can't go, that's stupid, that doesn't make any sense, right? You have to look at you have to respect their culture, even if you don't believe it. Because that's, like, it's their culture and also I think it's just, like, a way to not overlook something. I don't know. It's a way to learn. You can't just go, like, this is stupid, like, whatever. You know, I don't know how to, like, say it any better, but, like, that's kind of, like, you got to kind of respect the culture. That's why when, like, a lot of people talk about different cultures, I'm like, yes, I can agree that, like, maybe this culture, it's a little weird that they do this or that, but it's like, it's their culture. It's like, you can't really, and that is to a certain extent. You have to, you know, use your noggin. Each situation has nuance in it, but I don't know. You know, it's not everything is going to be the same, but I think respect for other people's culture is always a good thing. I'm sorry that we just went on that, like, crazy tangent. How's everybody doing? I don't think learning about other people's cultures are really interesting, which is why I would like to, like, try to learn more languages, but I'm just, like, I've kind of accepted the fact that I probably will not learn. another language fully or fluently. Though I will still try to. I'll still try to learn some languages. I like Xiaoma, I think is how you pronounce his name on YouTube. He does a lot of it's you'll know him if you've ever seen the videos of like white dude or English dude speaking X language in front of, you know, native speakers and then seeing their reactions. He always does those videos. I love his videos because they're just so fun, and he does a lot of like, not all the time, but he does like his videos can be very educational on like the cultures that he does, because he did a lot of like Aboriginal First Nations like languages videos that were really cool, where he went to like a reserve and lived with, or not lived with them, but like visited them, took part in their cultures and stuff like that, and tried to speak their language with them. And it's always really cool to see. Xiaoma, yeah, I love him. He's awesome. I think he's so great. I always love whenever I watch it. His videos suck only because like sometimes I'll be like getting into a big thing where I'm like watching him, and then I'll be like, okay, I need to like do something, but I still want to watch him, and then I can't because I can't listen to him speak another language that I don't understand. Like so many times I want to like listen to him speaking to people and just like do other things like play Minecraft, and then I'm like I can't because he's speaking a language I don't know. One of my favorite videos is he went to with his friend to like a Japanese supermarket and then like some Japanese stores, and they're going around and people are like, "Oh, like you're really like very good. You're very talented." And then they like went up to this one store with like this younger lady working the counter, and they like spoke in Japanese, and she just like didn't like wasn't phased by it. And they're like, "Oh, aren't you surprised that he can speak Japanese?" And she's like, "No, a lot of foreigners can speak Japanese nowadays. It's not that special." And they're like, "Oh, okay." They gotta like walk away. It was just made me laugh because she's like, "No, a lot of foreigners can speak Japanese now. It's not that interesting." And like, "Oh, okay. Have a good day." Every day I'm not employed is one day further where I go, I should look into teaching jobs in Japan. Because you don't even need to have like a teaching degree to teach English in like other countries like that, like Japan and China. You could just go and teach. And I'm like, every day I don't want to be a teacher. I don't want to be an English teacher, but I'm like, every day I don't get hired after I apply to something, I think I should just look up like teaching jobs in Japan and move there. uh, but alas, I do not. You don't even need to speak Japanese. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm like, I would like to learn Japanese, but it's like you don't even need to speak Japanese. Like a YouTuber I watch, um, he did that. Who moved to Japan. He's not even like into anime or anything. He just wanted to move to Japan, and he moved to Japan and got a teaching like job there to teach English. Doesn't really speak Japanese. Like he just lived there for a bit. He likes like Japanese music and stuff. Like he likes some Japanese culture stuff. But it's like you'd think like a lot of people that do that are probably like people that really love Japan. So he's like, I just laugh because he's like, I'm not really like into all that stuff. He's like, I just like wanted to move to Japan. Now he lives in like China. He lives in China with a kid and his wife. I want to move to Japan, or at least live in Japan at one point in my life, just because I feel like it's such a beautiful country, and I wanna learn Japanese at some point in my life. Like obviously there's the anime aspect, there's the games aspect that I like grew up loving, but I just like I feel like that would be like that's like a dream destination. If I can't live there or move there for a little bit, I would probably just want to like visit. Like if I would die, I could die happy if I went to the Pokemon Center in Japan. Like I could die happy after that. So, but I'm just like I hate my body because I'm just like so anxious about everything. Like if I was crazy enough, I would just move to Japan. You know, like but I also kind of need the money for it. But like if I could just like get a job there, like I would. But I'm just like I would be way too anxious and too like to just and it's like a big move, you know, you'd understand. It's understandable to be anxious about that, but I don't think I could do it alone, you know, like having nobody there with me, especially at, like how far away like my sister moved to London to do teaching. Or not London, but England. I was like London. Moved to England to do teaching and she loves to travel, but I'm just like I don't know if I could do that. Like I don't know if I could do that without like any support. But maybe someday. Honestly, if I ever visit Japan, that's gonna be my face reveal. I'm gonna vlog it. I'll go around and show it. But I'm also it's not gonna be good vlogs because I'm gonna be too embarrassed to hold a camera and walk around. But I would definitely like walk around and film it. That's why I'm like I don't know. This is another dumb thing, but it sucks because like I don't think one, I don't think I would ever reach that point. You know, never say never, but I don't think I would reach that point in like YouTube stuff where like I would ever even be considered for this. But like I love Pokemon, right? And I watched like a lot of Pokemon YouTubers get like invited to Worlds and they got to go to Japan and they do all this stuff and I'm just like, "Oh, like I would kill to be in that position." Like, I love Pokemon. I love Japan. Like, I would kill to be in that position. So I'm like, part of me, like, when I watched a lot of the Pokemon World stuff from, like, last year and this year, of, like, people getting all this cool stuff from Pokemon, I very heavily considered just creating a separate channel for specifically Pokemon. But, like, one, I already want to do so much on this channel, and two, like I like this channel just being a hub for all the shit I like. I know that's not a good way to do it, but I like this channel to just be like a hub of things that I enjoy and like you guys just experience it with me. Um Even though like that's not going to get me like necessarily it's not necessarily the right way to do it. You know, there's no right or wrong way to do it, but I was like I was very and I also like doing Pokemon on this channel. So I wouldn't want to do it on two, but I just don't think I could. One, I don't think I'm. Not that necessarily all the Pokemon YouTubers they had were family friendly, but I don't think I'm family friendly enough to be on Nintendo or Pokemon's radar. But I would. That would be like the biggest dream ever if I got any sort of like collaboration with Pokemon or well mainly Pokemon. Like Nintendo, I like Nintendo, but Pokemon is like that's my favorite game of all time. Favorite game series of all time, I should say. I love Pokemon, but with them suing Power World, yeah, and they're also just big bed shitters. I refuse to do anything with Nintendo at the moment. That is totally valid. Someone was talking about this, and let's get into some more weeds about this. My friend was talking about this, and I find it very interesting, and I'd love to know your guys' opinion on it. So if you guys don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, cobble. If you guys don't know, Nintendo is suing Pocket Pair, the people that made Pal World, for what is it called? It's not copyright. It's patent infringement. They're suing them over a patent for game mechanics in the game, which is incredibly horrifying and incredibly bad. No matter if you're a Nintendo fan or not, because if Nintendo can win the court case, they are basically like monopolizing game mechanics, which now prevents anyone from making those game mechanics, which is bad for everybody, whether it's a monster taming game or gaming in general. Like one of the patents is literally like riding a character. So like they could sue, like they have a patent. They could sue World of Warcraft if they wanted to for riding mounts, right? Like it's not a good thing if they win. Whether you like Power World or not, Nintendo has to lose this. Game Freak has to lose this. If we want to continue like having innovation on games. It's literally stopping a competitor because they are not even beating them, but just doing well. And something that my friend pointed out to me that was kind of interesting is because people are like, well, like if you have this problem, why didn't you sue them like when it was announced? Why didn't you sue them when the game came out? Why are you suing it now after all this time, right? I can't remember one of the patents, but the other two is riding animals and throwing an item to catch a creature. But both patents other games did before Pokemon existed. Yes, exactly. Absolutely. Because the other one is like one of them is riding like a creature, like a character riding another character. It's all in like very specific wording because it's talking about like the specific mechanics in the game. But um but yeah, it's basically very generic stuff that a lot of games use and maybe in the future would use. But one of the things that I thought, because people are like, why sue them now out of any time you can do it? Why now? Because it really doesn't make sense. And my opinion was what I assumed, or what I just assumed was the reason they decided to do it now was because they've made their money. They're not really gonna make any more money. And so my opinion was this is probably the maximum amount of payout they can get from them. And but now what it's looking like is it doesn't really look like it's about the money and more about either having to shut down Power World or change Power World's mechanics entirely, which would suck either way. But my friend talked about this, and I'd love your guys' opinion on whether you agree with this or not. My friend was talking about this, and he said that I can't remember who said it, but some YouTuber he watches was basically like, oh my god, it literally just exited my brain what I was gonna say. I actually can't believe that it just left my brain. Oh my god, I'm actually so pissed. I had a point. To this. Something Pokemon, something Power World. Okay, it'll come back to me. Nintendo loves money, yet they hate it at the same time. It's a very love-hate relationship with Nintendo and money. I can't remember. Oh, fuck. There was a really good point, and I wanted to know people's opinion on it. And now I'm pissed, because I cannot remember what I was going to say. It just left my brain immediately. Oh my god, I'm so pissed. Why can't I remember what I was going to say? How's it going, X? Um, dude, I'm actually like, dude, I'm actually so pissed. I'm trying to think really hard on what I was gonna say. As any other day, that's good. I cannot remember what I was gonna say, and I am pissed now. I am so mad. It was gonna be something interesting and thought provoking. I'm almost like have half a mind. I'll remember it. I hope so. I have half a mind to text my friend and be like, "What did you say that one YouTuber said about the thing about Power World?" But I'm just like, I don't. I'm gonna be too impatient for him to text back. He had mostly French today. I'm so sorry. Okay, let me go through all of this. Send call reviews. Do anything with them? Oh, thank you. I'm gonna write down the words so I don't forget. Okay. So this is a thing that my friend was talking about, and it is potentially the reason why they decided to sue Pocket Pair now. And I want to know your guys' opinion on whether or not you believe that this is true, or if this is just fantasy, or if you believe like however you believe this, right? Um, but so people, because it was just announced that Power World just got on the PS5, and they just announced a partnership with Sony. And Sony basically has put out that they want to make Power World into a game, into a show, into like card games, into merchandise. Like Sony wants to branch Pocket Pair out and help them make a bunch of this stuff. And so before this, Pocket Pair Power World was literally just Pokemon with guns, but now it is a legitimate potential competitor because it has Sony backing it up. That people are now saying that this is the reason why they're actually suing Pocket Pair, because Sony has the money to make them a legitimate competitor. So they're going to try and sue them on the only thing that they could potentially win on, which is patent infringement, because that's the only thing that the best opportunity they could win, because they can't win on copyright infringement unless it was specifically showing like stolen assets, because it falls under parody. And I also am not a huge, like, I don't know Japanese law, right? But that was what he was saying, is that they people suspect that they're suing them now of all times because they have all these stuff set up to make like an actual like potential IP rather than just one game. And I want to know your guys' opinion on that, because I think that's a very interesting perspective on this, because of like the precedent it sets, where like Pokemon is really just trying to prevent competition from honing in on their thing, even though like really Power World and Pokemon are completely two different games. And I feel like Power World I think Power World has this narrative of like appealing to the people who are disgruntled with Pokemon, but I don't think that it really is stealing, in my opinion, is stealing like Pokemon fans from it. Like if people enjoy Power World and Pokemon, they're gonna enjoy both. If people enjoy Power World but not Pokemon, they're not. Power World not existing is not gonna make them not buy Pokemon. You know, like they're not gonna start buying Pokemon now that Power World doesn't exist. That's my opinion, but I believe it could be maybe one of the main reasons because Nintendo hates Sony. That too, because it gets Sony in that market that Pokemon has. So it's a very interesting thing, and it's also like I hope that Pocket Pair doesn't have to remove Power World or anything, because people are also talking about like Power World potentially, because I think it was in the like forums where they're talking about suing Power World, they're saying like you owe us X amount of money, and then also for damages, and then also you have to like basically it was non-specific, but they have to do something. Like, and obviously it's non-specific, so it could be somewhere from change some of the mechanics in Power World to have to take down Power World. And if Power World has to be taken down, like that would, I feel like that would suck. And it really sucks for all the people that worked on the game, that this is like their livelihood. You know, like it really sucks. I'm gonna turn down, that's video. I'm gonna turn down weather a little bit. Turn to like 2%. That's really... That just got louder. Can I turn off weather? Okay. No, let's go 1%. Okay. But yeah. It sucks all around. I will probably, like, as much as I do want to be like boycott Nintendo and Pokemon, I love Pokemon way too much. So I probably won't, but if that is something that you want to do and that you are going to do, like, I fully support you. Like, I fully get it. As much as I hate it and it does suck, I also I love Pokemon. So it's hard for me to be like fully on the bandwagon of like cancel Pokemon. The damages Nintendo did to themselves, if they make better content, then there would be no damages. That's true. Like, I don't even, Power World didn't even do anything to them really, and I think that no matter how this goes, like, Nintendo is really being shown as a bully right now, using their authority to get what they want in the market, right? So I think that no matter what happens, it does really just show that Nintendo is trying to like stiff arm people into doing what they want, and that's not a good look for them as a company, I think. So I don't think this lets Nintendo, but like Nintendo also never looks like a good person. Nintendo, my favorite way to describe Nintendo is like your racist grandfather. Like, he does a lot of questionable things, but it's your grandfather and you have really good memories of him, you know? Like, so you're not going to hate him, but like also you're going to be like, "Oh, grandpa, you know, don't say that. Don't do that." That's how I perceive Nintendo. That's my favorite way to describe Nintendo. You were hoping they'd make Pokemon good again? Yeah, that's fair. I mean, to me, like, I know a lot of people did not like Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet and Violet to me is one of my favorite Pokemon games of all time. So, like, it performance-wise, it's horrible, but like everything else, I really liked Scarlet and Violet. So, that's also with me. It was just like I'm still enjoying Pokemon. Like, Sword and Shield was an absolute travesty. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is literally spitting on my fucking grandmother, like, levels of disrespect. But overall, like, I feel like Pokemon's doing pretty decent for me. But I fully understand people's hatred towards Pokemon now, you know, because it is, a lot of the times it's the bare minimum, and then now Power World comes around and it's like, oh, you can't do the bare minimum anymore. You actually have to try. And then they immediately just go, "We're gonna sue you because of that." It's like, okay. You don't play or know much about it. That's totally fair. You don't have you don't have to know necessarily anything about it. You don't have to play the games. But it's just unfortunate. It is just unfortunate. Like, I wish that we could just have nice things. You still play Power World? I haven't played Power World in a while. We're still uploading Power World videos, but I was actually thinking of potentially playing Power World one of these days. I was almost considering playing it tonight. But I didn't because I wanted to play Minecraft. But I kind of want to get back into it. Because I played a little bit of the new update, but not a lot. And there's still a lot of like grinding stuff I need to do. I think like the main reason I haven't been playing it is because I'm kind of at the late game end game, and the grind is just a little bit too much for me. But I kind of want to get back into it at some point. There's just a lot of other games I want to play as well. You don't think you've seen me play Pokemon? Well, I've uploaded Scarlet and Violet, Sword and Shield. I have Nuzlocke on this channel. We've done art locks of Pokemon on this channel. Like, we play Pokemon quite a bit. It just hasn't been recently. I just recently haven't been playing because I've been playing a lot of other games. But I do play Pokemon quite a bit. It's been like 2 years since they've released a game, so you know, can't blame me for not playing a game that doesn't exist. I might do Infinite Fusion again at some point. Because I know they updated stuff. We did Poke Rogue as well. You mean live? I've seen some playing the classic Red and Blue with ChatGPT. Looks complex. Oh, I haven't seen. I don't know about that. I don't know about playing Red Blue with ChatGPT. That sounds interesting. But yeah, we live streamed Infinite Fusion. We live streamed Scarlet and Violet, Sword and Shield, way back in the day when they came out. We live streamed Poke Rogue. So yeah, we do live stream it occasionally, but I just haven't very much recently. I haven't really even played Power World super recently. The only reason Power World videos are still going up is because we played it so much going into played it so much when it came out. Every stream was like 8 hours long. Yeah, we're gonna. I would like to do more Pokemon fan games. The only thing I don't like, I gotta check on this one Pokemon fan game that I haven't double checked or haven't checked in on. But the only thing I don't like about Pokemon fan games, as much as I like I used to always play them all the time. But the thing I don't really like about them now is that a lot of the times fan games are just never finished. Like they never get completed. And so like I get it, I make like the first episode and then I find out that it's like not done and it's never gonna get done. So it's like if it's a finished one, then yeah. But if it's one that's not finished, then it's kind of meh. How long am I streaming for? Um, I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming for. Let's see. How long have we been streaming in general? Actually, what am I doing? Uh, Probably maybe like another hour 10 minutes, maybe. We'll see. I might because I completely lost track of time. I didn't even know how long I've been streaming for, and I just checked it, and I've been streaming for like two and 20 minutes, so it's I probably at least another hour, hopefully. I like to try to shoot for 3 hours, 3.5 on a good day. Speaking of like monster taming games, one I need to finish Coromon, but that wasn't what I wanted to talk about. I kind of want to do Digimon Survive again because of the like true endings and the different endings. And I love that game, but it's just like it is so much reading. But that game was so good. If you guys don't know anything about Digimon Survive, it's a lot of fun. It's kind of like Fire Emblem. It's like a Fire Emblem visual novel with Digimon in it. I think it's really fun and worthwhile. But I can see like people going like it's not my type of game, you know? So I may be back before the end of stream if uh I may not if I don't enjoy. Okay, sounds good. Have fun on your meeting. Hope your meeting goes well. I really want another Digimon game at some point. Oh, oh my god, this is completely on topic, but off topic, but on topic. So Digimon have like they're called like V pets, like virtual pets. Um, my do I need to? I don't think I need to break this. I think it's just, but they have virtual pets, right? That's what Digimon was like known for, basically like the boy version of Tamagotchis. And they're releasing Monster Hunter ones, so they're like Monster Hunter fused with like Digimon as like a special edition, but they're also doing one with Godzilla, and I'm like, depending on the price, I might actually have to pick that up. Like that, I'm not like a huge virtual pet guy necessarily. I had a Tamagotchi when I was a kid, but like if they're gonna have Godzilla Tamagotchis, that's kind of cool. Godzilla and Digimon, like two of my favorite things combined. That would be sick. Like I thought the Monster Hunter ones were cool, but Godzilla takes the cake on that one. Yeah, so it's like Monster Hunter, but it has like Greymon, but it's like a Rathalos Greymon, you know, or like it's like Digimon. I don't know anything about the Godzilla ones, if it's gonna be like Godzilla or like gonna have like different variants like Mecha Godzilla fused with like Metal Garurumon or something like that. Like that would be so cool. Because Digimon has really cool collabs with other IPs. Like they had a really cool collab with Metabots and all that stuff. Like I want to see more cool stuff with them. Man, looking at the time really just like cut my energy. Like I'm kind of like, ugh. You know, being reminded of how long we've been streaming. I'm just like, you know, not to mention I just don't sleep well anymore. But if I really want to do anything though, I have to actually finish Xenoblade 3. I really need to find a time. So tomorrow I'm going to try and record some videos if I can. I do have work tomorrow, but I'm going to try record them maybe after. And if I can't, I'm going to record some on Wednesday. I'm trying to like figure out a schedule for my life because I constantly am like, "Oh, I have free time. I'm going to go hang out with friends or do something with friends or like watch a show." And then I just never never record anything, and so then I don't ever get the shit done. So I really wanna finish and play Xenoblade 3, especially because I want to do all like the side quests and stuff. So if you guys are a Xenoblade 3 fan, I apologize. I will get it done eventually. Please forgive. especially because I'm also planning all the Game Awards stuff, which I'm really excited for. The game we're doing, you know, I've talked about this a bajillion times, but if you haven't heard, I'm gonna do a Game Awards thing this year and probably every year after this point, where I do basically my own version of the Game Awards, but it's all games that I've played this year, whether I streamed it or not. And so we're planning on doing that sometime late December. I'm thinking December 27th in my head is like the tentative date, but it might not be exactly. We're going to do that on Twitch, and then I will edit it up into a YouTube video. But if you want to see it live, that's when we're going to do it. If you guys ever want to know when I'm going live or what times to, like, you know, about anything, just join my Discord. Like, that's not even like a Discord plug. That is just literally the best place for you to figure out anything about me. Is Discord, easiest way to contact me, etc. and so forth. So, but we're gonna do that. We're also gonna do some Christmas movie, not Christmas movie, but we're gonna watch. I have a 3 Hamtaro special that we're gonna watch. The 3 episodes of Hamtaro that are Christmas episodes in the Discord. So if you're interested in that, we're doing stuff like that in the Discord. So Discord's a fun place to be if you're interested in stuff like that. And we sometimes watch movies even when it's not Christmas. Okay, I think I need to put my elytra on. Nope. No. Please. Okay, I think I need to put my elytra on just so we can fly back up here. I don't even know where I am. No, I literally hit that. Okay, let's try. Perfect. First try. But we're gonna do. I'm excited for the Game Awards. At the last week of November, I'm going to put out a Google form for you guys to do the Viewer Choice Awards, where you guys get to choose your favorite games out of the games that I have played this year, and you get to vote on them, and that will be a whole separate award category. So if you're interested in voting on that, keep an eye on it. I'm also going to post it in the community tab on YouTube, probably. So keep an eye out for that. I think is yeah, this up here needs to. I don't know what I'm hitting. Stop. Please, I just want to fly in a direction. I'm sorry, I'm inside. Ooh, let's go. This is why your mother tells you not to use fireworks in the house. It's the exact reason. You'll go flying into the walls. But that's basically my year, is going to be trying to finish off Xenoblade 3, Game Awards, and then maybe starting Soul Hackers. Anything after the Viewer Choice Awards voting goes up will be moved over to the next year's Viewer's Choice Awards anyways. But that is sort of all the plans I have, because we might start Soul Hackers soon. Soul Hackers 2 on Twitch. I think I'm gonna clear out this area. It depends if Sparking Zero holds us for even more, because I really like Sparking Zero, but we're kind of hitting the amount of content we can do for the single player. We just have the bonus episodes we can do, and then any other custom fights we want to do. So I might make it a less of a scheduled thing and more of a when we want to do it type of thing. But I love Sparking Zero. Sparking Zero is so fun. It's very disappointing because I really love Sparking Zero. I think it's great, but it's been out for like a month and it already feels like everybody's abandoning it for like content. Not like necessarily abandoning it completely, but like I already see like a lot of content creators being like, this is what Sparking Zero needs to be good. Like this is this, that, and that. I'm like, it's a good game. Like, why are we already like shitting on it? It's been out for a month. They said they're gonna update it. They already put out a survey being like, what do you guys want to see? Like, I don't know. It's hard to be like, come on, guys. You know, it's hard to stay positive when it's like. It also, I hate it. I mean, it's humans, right? Life, and this is how shit's gonna happen. But I like a lot of the YouTubers I watch were like, this is gonna change the game. This is gonna be the greatest game ever. It's gonna change everything. It's gonna be the greatest Dragon Ball game ever. And I think it is. I think it is literally the greatest Dragon Ball game ever. And then now they're like, it needs to be fixed, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I feel bad for the people that like got swept up in the hype, I guess, because like you just gotta be able to make your own decisions. You can't blame everyone for the decisions you make. But like, there's probably so many people that bought the game being like, oh, this is gonna be so great, and like got overhyped for it because YouTubers just like oversold it. You know, because now all these YouTubers are like, yeah, it's not that good. Of like the because it's, and also all the people that are complaining are the people complaining about online like ranked matches, that like they all play online rank matches, and the game is not meant to be balanced. It was literally told before the game came out, this game is not going to be balanced. There's going to be broken characters. And I agree with some of the complaints that people have, that even if it's supposed to be unbalanced, like some of the characters are just unfun unbalanced. Like it's not fair unbalanced. It's not like that, but still, I don't know. It's like they literally told us exactly what we were gonna get, basically gave it to us, and then we just people just complained about it. I don't know. I'm sorry for anybody that doesn't care about that conversation, but it's just like it just sucks. And then something that made me laugh was, I really like, I'm not gonna say names, but I really like this content creator that I'm talking about, who does a lot of Dragon Ball stuff. But he like posted a video today and was like, "Oh man, Sparking Zero doesn't have like what the old Dragon Ball games used to have, and I wish it had it. Like all these cool modes and stuff. Let me show you like the modes that the game used to have." And he pulls out Budokai Tenkaichi 3, and basically just shows like a mode where he fights 3 guys, and you can do that like in he's like, this is like a hard 3-on-1 that's super cool. And it's like, you can do that in Sparking Zero. That's literally a thing. Like, I feel like a lot of people that compare it to BT3 just want to play BT3 again and don't want to play Sparking Zero. Like, Sparking Zero's mechanics are very different from Budokai Tenkaichi 3. They are similar, but they are very different. Like, they have a whole different like system basically. And so I feel like a lot of the people that complain about it are just wanting to play Budokai Tenkaichi 3, and I'm just like, go play it then. Like, just play it. Like, why are you like, if this stuff is so much better, just play it. Like, you don't have to buy the new game if you know, like, I don't know. I'm sorry for going on this tangent for so long. But I like games, and people make me laugh. I think that if they like the other game more, they should do that. It just makes sense. Yeah, like, I don't know. Because, like... Because, like, literally the video, it just makes me laugh, because literally the video is like, oh, I'm fighting 3-on-1, and it's a really difficult fight. And I'm like, but you literally played around with the custom episodes where you can make custom battles. You can do this. But, like, with cutscenes and stuff, and, like, actually adding, like, different buffs and things. Like, you can actually alter the characters. And then it's just like, they were talking about like, oh yeah, we did the custom mode, but the custom mode is really bare bones and doesn't have a lot of stuff. Like, it feels like they really overhyped that. And I'm just like, I'm saying that like, I'm like, okay, that's an opinion. Like, you're allowed to have your opinion. I'm not saying that their opinion is necessarily wrong. Like, I think that there could definitely be a lot more in Sparking Zero, absolutely. But I'm just like, but I'm like, but you like, you're playing literally a more bare bones version of the thing that you're complaining about. And also, I feel like the bare bones stuff is purely like, or like it's limited, it's too limited, is purely a thing of like, well, you have to just like figure it out. You have to figure out how to make something more entertaining, like Minecraft. You know, it's like there's a lot you can do in Minecraft, but there's a limit to like if you collect all the blocks, if you fight the Ender Dragon, if you get all the tools, right? There's a limit to what you can do in Minecraft. But the reason Minecraft is so successful is because people go, well, like, okay, I have these limits. What can I do to like push this game to its absolute limits? Obviously, Minecraft has mods, and Sparking Zero does as well. But like, you know, like if you just played the game to be like, okay, I'm gonna beat the Ender Dragon, that's it. Then like, yeah, of course Minecraft has no content. But if you're like, okay, what can I build? What can I do? Like, what kind of machines can I make? You know, like that's how I feel about like the story editor, where it's like people are just needing to figure out how to make stories more interesting with the things they have, because there's a lot of I feel like there's a lot of options you can use with that. So I was just laughing. I didn't get any andesite. I just realized. Okay. It's fine. We didn't even notice. That's funny. I'm like, I didn't even really notice, so it's not that big of a deal then. But yeah, I don't know. I love hearing people's opinion about the game, because obviously the game is not perfect, but I'm just like, how did we go from like this game is literally peak to like I never even liked this game, like it's trash, I've always been saying, like I'm just like, bruh. Like this game fell off. It's like, bro, it's just people played it and now they don't want to play it anymore. Like that's games. People finished the story mode, they don't want to play it anymore, you know. I don't know. I don't know, chat. I do not know. What I know, I don't. But then again, I can't really complain about people complaining about things, you know? Just, I'm just gonna enjoy the game, whether I like to or not. You don't do creative stuff, but you get your fill from modding. That's fair. Yeah, it's gonna be people have different opinions and different things they like to do. Who is shooting me? So it's always like just an opinion thing too, because like maybe the game is not for them, you know? Like, I don't know. I feel like I probably shouldn't complain about people complaining, but sometimes I like to express my opinion as well. And I'm not even necessarily complaining about them. I'm just like disappointed that we went from like world peace to like now, oh, this game wasn't even that good to begin with, and I'm just like, come on. Or like, this shit looks ass, and I'm just like, it literally looks so gorgeous. Like, I don't like there's having a different opinion and just like rage farming. I don't know. I like Skyrim. I put Skyrim in Minecraft. I like the previous game, so I added it to the game. Exactly. I'm excited to see Sparking Zero stuff. I think though maybe like a microcosm of the problem with people not liking Sparking Zero, like, or not necessarily not liking it, but it not retaining some people, is probably because people see new Dragon Ball fans see new Dragon Ball game and go, oh, this is gonna be sick. I really like Xenoverse. I can't wait to play Sparking Zero. And then there's the older generation that see, oh my god, they're bringing back the Budokai Tenkaichi series. Oh, that was one of my favorite games when I was younger. I can't wait to play that again. You know, and so you get two groups of people, and that doesn't obviously fit every person, because I obviously fit outside those. Where they go, this isn't like what I remember as a kid. I wish it was more like when I was younger. And then people playing and go, this is nothing like Xenoverse. I don't get to like, I can't customize anything. There's nothing like You know, it doesn't have all these cool story options and like all this stuff because that's not what the game is about, you know? So I feel like that's also a little bit of a microcosm of like the problem with Sparking Zero is that it doesn't cater to either of them, and it's sort of designed to be like an older game with modern controls and stuff, so it doesn't quite fit the new aesthetic of games, but also doesn't quite fit the old aesthetic. I don't know if that makes sense at all. But like maybe that's the reason why there's a little bit of a problem. I think I'm gonna put you guys on the BRB screen right now. I'm gonna stand up, go to the bathroom. You guys take some opportunities to take a break as well. And I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some water, maybe some food. Because I'm feeling kind of a little bit peckish, so I'll be right back. BRB. Okay. This guy's just gonna be here, you know, casually.
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at
Level 1 Beetle.
Sleepy just fell off. It was perfect. I don't know why that's so funny to me. No, it never happened. It never happened. It never happened. Oh man, that's so fucking funny.
You have no proof. I wasn't on a stream or anything.
As we all know, Chi-Chi is my adoptive daughter, and Rosaria is her mother. So, you know, you look at Rosaria's hair, and it's like, okay, red, her hair's purple, right? So, who's the father, right? And, like, at first, my heart sank, right? That, it's probably Kaya, right? Blue hair, red hair, both ice. Chi-Chi's mother, of course, like Chi-Chi's mother, father. But I figured it out. It's Rosaria and Eula. Watch out, I have a mini sword. Look at it. I can stab you with it.
Okay, now it's
I
back
don't
to
think that's
easy,
trick safe.
and now it's a medium size.
Hey, just because my sword is small doesn't mean it doesn't work right. It's like curved on the end.
The motion of the ocean, Minty.
Just because it's curved a bit and small. Kawaii.
Kawaii.
Just in case I can't do it later, I want to double check something. So if anybody, don't leave the chat just yet if you guys wanted to stay for this. I want to see if I can do this. Oh, Thanos chicken! Da 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 da. Stop! Stop it! Da 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 da. I am inedible. Da. Chain living life dangerously. Oh yeah. You know me, ladies, if you want a bad boy that with a guy who lives on the edge, come visit me. I fight the pyro hypostasis with 2 pyro characters, ladies.
Good grief. You and me, we got this.
You got the zoomies. We're looking bad around the bodies. Oh, Yumi, calm down. No, that was horrible. That was horrible.
She's mouth made it sound like the next time you guys go to sleep, she's gonna shove fruit into your mouth and make you eat them.
I mean, I keep my doors unlocked.
My window's wide open. I sleep on the first floor.
I sleep on the 2nd floor, so you might have to climb up a little bit, but I'll leave a ladder. Let's head back to the palace guard, shall we? Let me just hold it above air for a little bit longer. I want to watch its life leave its eyes. Only. Only boy, don't I don't think that's okay. Any sense? What the fuck, Richard? Oh my god, what the hell? I already got some gunk in my throat too, because I'm born with gunk. No, that was horrible. That was horrible.
Clip it fast.
No, delete your accounts. I can show you the world, shining, shimmering. Enough of that. Enough of that copyright. Excuse me while I munch on a sandwich. No. We're gonna clear out this wall next. So we're gonna clear out this one, and then that should be the last wall, and then we have to do the roof, which we probably won't get to today. Gonna make sure I unmuted. I am definitely feeling tired, like very tired all of a sudden. As much as I don't like to, I might have to call it early, depending. I was feeling a little bit peckish, so that's why I wanted to grab a sandwich, but I'm just like, after I was like, oh yeah, how long have I been streaming for? 2 hours. I just went, like my whole body just went. Got so tired all of a sudden, just got a little bit of a headache. I do have work tomorrow too, so. It's not like getting into bed early is a bad thing. Well, the trial spawners are still all activating. Really makes it feel like a slime dungeon. I actually really like, as much as it's very boxed in, I kind of like how it looks, because to me it almost feels like a stage. Me and Driven just got back from the movies. We all saw the Wild Robot. How'd you like it? I saw that one too. I thought it was pretty good. How'd you guys like it? And welcome on in. We're working on the slime dungeon. I'm gonna do stalactites from the top, definitely. I'd maybe like to do like some slime stuff like that on them too. Make them like crystally. I thought the Wild Robot was pretty good when I saw it in theaters. The only thing that kind of disappointed me, it was very sweet, Schmeeps. It was very good, Draven. Nice. The only thing that I kind of didn't like about it was because I saw the trailers, and one of the first trailers I saw, there was no, like, dialogue, really. It was the robot being like, may I offer you assistance? And, like, chasing the animals, and it was, like, a very pretty movie. And so I was thinking, oh, this is going to be a movie, and it's going to be really artsy, and it's going to be, like, it is a very pretty movie, like, don't get me wrong. But, like, I thought it was going to be, like, very pretty, very artsy, and, like, no dialogue. Like, I didn't think there was going to be really dialogue other than the robot. I didn't think the animals were going to talk. And so I was a little bit disappointed when I got into the movie, and the animals started going, like, have you seen my daughter? And I was like, ugh. I was just kind of like, it wasn't what I was expecting, you know? It's like when you take a sip of orange juice thinking it's apple juice, right? It's not necessarily that I hate orange juice, you know? Like, I just expected something a little bit different and was a little bit disappointed, but I enjoyed the movie after I got over that fact. Good morning, Potato. How you doing? Guten Tag. What? Oh. What did I break? There we go. That's what I broke. Everybody's popping in. Just woke up? Well, good morning. Hope you slept well. I'm thinking about going to sleep, to be honest. I'm kind of feeling tired. I'm going to try and stick around to finish off this wall, at least. And finish this sandwich. Makes sense, yeah. Right now we've been working on this. We just kind of collected materials today. But it was really funny because I was feeling pretty, like, awake. And then I was asked, like, oh, how long are you going to stream for? I'm like, oh, that's a good question. How long have I streamed for? I'm like, oh, like, roughly, like, 2.5 hours. And then my body just went, it went, like, low battery. And I'm like, oh, I feel tired now. Hey. Hey. They're much nicer when they're babies. It'd be cool. Bro, it's November. It'd be really cool if slimes, after, like, a certain amount of time, could, like, recombine themselves. That'd be kind of fun. Not something that Minecraft needs, but just a thought that came to my head. I get it. I also thought it was going to be like a Wall-E situation. I was disappointed by the talking animals because they didn't say anything too... Or I wasn't disappointed by the talking animals because they didn't say anything too corny, IMO. Yeah, I agree. I knew it was going to have that... I knew it was going there considering it was a well-trained AI robot. That's fair. And do not get me wrong. I liked it. Like, I enjoyed it. I have some more opinions about it, but I don't really want to say it just because it kind of spoils a little bit. But I think it did very good. Probably not my movie of the year, considering Deadpool and Wolverine came out this year. But is this about the wild robot? Yeah. How do I get bread stuck in my teeth? Ugh. Yeah, I like The Wild Robot. I think it was a great movie. Just part of it wasn't exactly what I was expecting. I was really hoping for more of like an artsy film where it, again, it is very beautiful, but it kind of ended up for me being like very 3D animation like Pixar movie. I don't it was even Pixar or is it DreamWorks? It's like one of those two. They're kind of synonymous for me. They're like Coke and Pepsi. You know, some people can tell the difference. I can't. I can't unless I'm looking at the packaging. Respectfully, I think both of them are amazing. I really wanted him to bounce off the slime. The fact that he didn't die is actually very disappointing. Especially because I gotta go grab another night vision potion. Actually, I shouldn't even be humming that on YouTube. I'm gonna get executed. I think we'll have to fly up. Okay, we're gonna risk it all. When I lose it all, slipping. I shouldn't again. Again, shouldn't be singing on this YouTube channel. No way, no way, bro. Also, voting for the other Game Awards is out now. For the fake Game Awards, not the real ones that we will be doing. The fake Game Awards voting's out now. If that's something you're interested in, Herm. Yeah, let me go grab... Dude, actually, some of the nominees for the Game Awards this year, the other Game Awards, because I keep calling my Game Awards the Game Awards, but Jeff Keighley's Game Awards, is actually kind of baffling to me. Like, a lot of overlap, which is, like, normal, you know, they're gonna overlap games, but, like, I feel like the game selection is really poor this year, and it just feels like some games got overlooked. Like, I'm not saying like Sonic and Shadow Generations should have won like Game of the Year, but I'm saying like that game should have been like considered at least for like family, because there's like one called like family friendly Game of the Year or something like that, and like the best like family game, and that one has 3 Mario games in it, basically. Or not 3 Mario games, but it has like Mario, one Mario game, Mario Party, and then the Princess Peach game, and then the other one is Astrobot. And I'm like, these all are like very like three of them are Nintendo. Like, you couldn't have gotten like Sonic and Shadow as like one of the options for that. Like, not saying that like it necessarily needs to win, but I'm like, it feels like there's so many overlap. And like Metaphor I think is a fantastic game, but Metaphor's in like 9 categories. And again, I think they're a great game, but I'm just like, I feel like there's like no variety this year. And also, something that's kind of fucked up, I know Dragon Age was gonna show up, at least it isn't contending for Game of the Year. Yeah, Dragon Age is in there. Something that kind of annoys me though is not that I've played it yet, but this year they said that is the Elden Ring DLC a, a thing for Game of the Year? I didn't see it. I wasn't paying attention. I know it was there, like I saw it, but is it in Game of the Year again? Like one of the let me look this up. Because yes, oh my gosh. Cuz like they said this year that DLC count as like games this year and can be in any category, which I'm like, that's fine, but like this has never been a thing. Like they act like this has always been a thing. This has never been a thing, and it very much feels like they only are doing it to get Elden Ring to win again. Like that's my only reason. That's the only reason I think they have that is because they want Elden Ring to win again. Which is, like, fine. Like, if it is Game of the Year, it's Game of the Year. But, like, what happened to all the other DLCs and stuff like that that happened years prior, right? Like, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed, I don't think got, like, in there. You know, like, last year that wasn't available for that. Like, how would, like, or they didn't show up for anything. So you're telling me, like, that didn't deserve, like, anything? Like, not even, like, music? They did so Wukong didn't win? Maybe. Like, I don't know. Like, it seems very strange. Like, I don't want to say that, like, the Elden Ring people would have, like, paid off Jeff Keighley, but, like, Jeff Keighley does seem like a Souls fan, very much so. But, like, I don't know. I feel like, I don't think the Game Awards are necessarily bought. I'm gonna die. But, they're definitely... Oh, that sucks. It just put a fucking hole down the... Oh, that sucks. It just put water all the way down my fucking staircase. But it just... I don't know. This year seems, like, exceptionally weird. Just go away. Oh my god, you've done enough! Are there more than this one? 'Cause I feel like there's one behind me. I'm not even gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole. That's like very Minecraft of the game just now. Just walk out and just immediately get creeper blows up. Like that's a very Minecraft situation. I don't know why I threw those away. Journalism hates Wukong for whatever reason. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I've never heard. I didn't hear anything bad about Wukong. I haven't really necessarily heard anything good about it either. Like I just heard that it got released and then nothing else ever about it. So I know nothing about it. Other than immortality stacks. But also, seeing the Game Awards this year just solidifies my want to do my own. Because I even saw people complaining about the Streamer Awards this year that QT Cinderella does. And being like, oh, like, this is only big streamers. And, like, you're not looking at, like, these streamers and this and that. And I agree to an extent. But, like, my main thing is just... if you don't like it, just make your own. Like, you know, like, just make your own if you don't like it. Like, instead of trying to bring down a group of people that are trying to celebrate people, that if you think people should be celebrated, celebrate them. You don't have to have someone else do it for you. So, but I'm honestly quite tired, so I think I'm gonna head out. Whether I actually go to sleep or not is to be seen. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for so long, and I'll see you guys on Thursday for MPW. This is not a Christmas show. That will be pretty good, I think. That one will be pretty fun. So, have a good night, folks. Thanks for stopping by, for even if you stayed for a little bit or a lot of bit. I appreciate it. Have a good night, guys. Bye-bye. Matane. Bye-bye.